Oh, so welcome back to the Idea Lab again, and we are going to look at my weird plants. So, yeah, weird plants. Last time we talked about this Buffonia, and it's toxic. Buffon is toxic, and this is, I don't know what it is, I forgot, I lost the label. And then, yeah, we got a weird pink plant here. And then, behold, all of these are a lot of weird plants. Why are you growing roots out of here, dude? What's wrong? Is there something wrong? Is it ran out of oxygen in the soil? I mean, slightly, I don't know, but yeah. Oh, I see. It ran out of space in the pot. So is it the roots are popping out on the bottom? You see, roots are actually slightly fuzzy. You see that? It's slightly fuzzy. Those are root hair cells doing resurface area to absorb more nutrients and water efficiently. And then, yeah, it stores water here. And then, actually, the leaves close up at night like that. You close it up at night. Then, yeah, it's just some succulents. You see, they turn red, turn different colors. But these guys are not normal because they release the oxygen gas and absorb the carbon dioxide gas at night using a special type of photosynthesis reaction called the crassulum body, or probably CAM photosynthesis, which is you more likely heard of because no one call it a full name. I'm not sure if I call it correctly or not, but you get the idea. So they store the carbon dioxide at night from the air. They release the oxygen they made during the day at night. Because they can't open the stomata in the daytime. They're living in deserts. Deserts is hot. Even though this is not so hot. But they're living in the desert normally. So they cannot afford to open their stomatas. Because deserts have no water, very little water. They're special, but then this one is not. This one just releases carbon dioxide at night, and then it absorbs the oxygen at night. I don't know, but this one is just normal. But these guys are weird. So they're basically charging up, and inside the leaf, they store all the oxygen. Right now, when the light goes off, all the stored oxygen will come out. Because they are the weird plant, exception of biology. But anyways, these they gave very tough. Didn't water it for a whole year. This is another cacti, but it's just a cactus seedling. It's super small. And then yeah, the sea onion. It's getting fatter and fatter. Someone gave it to me last time, but it was super tiny. It's like a green pea. I don't even know what it was until now. It looks like a sea onion. It's a special type of succulent plant and it stores water. See the fuzzy hair on the leaves? This guy also has fuzzy hair on the leaves. The fuzzy hairs on the leaves. You see those white hairs on the leaves. Right, not the leaves itself, not the green part, the white part. Those are called the trichomes. They are used to block excess light, almost like a sunscreen. Yeah, and then stores water. And then these plants, what? Do you know why I'm doing this? Because these leaves, they're gonna sprout a new plant out of it. And it's a type of asexual reproduction. You just pluck off a leaf and it will sprout new plants. This is a Euphorbia obesa plant. When you damage it, you release a toxic white sap, a type of latex sap, and that is not good because it can burn the skin or cause any irritation reactions. And this is Pseudolithos migratus. Some said it's the hardest plant to grow, but I don't know. It's a seedling, maybe around 6 months old. We have the Astrophyllum asterius, seedlings. I'm not sure if it's the correct species, but they just give the seedling to us. So note that in some regions, you will need a license to sell these. You can't buy these normally. You cannot buy them without a license. Like, you can't sell them. Because this is grown by human instead of wild collected. So, you can keep it in your house. I can give it away to people, like in some regions. But like, you need to check your local laws if they allow that. Because they are protected species. With this plant, I can't sell it to anyone because it needs a license. But I can give to anyone for free. So that this discourage people from, like, doing bad stuff about it. But anyways, not gonna talk too much about that because it isn't too healthy. Because I always forget to water it. And then the moss. Oh no, you see, it's so unhealthy, but on the bottom it's green. It's green again. On the top it's sunburned because I'm using such a bright light for moss. The bottom is still green. And then I never water it. I didn't water it for 1 year, and then like the whole thing shriveled up. And I added water a few days ago, and then it becomes green again. It becomes alive again. It's like a resurrection plant. So weird, isn't it? Moss can stay alive without water. Grape today, not so great today, because the light is broken for the grape. Do you know why the leaves are closed now? Because my light is about to turn off soon. Like, the leaves open during the daytime, the leaves close at night time to conserve water. But I already have a lid. I have a lid on this, and this lid allowed gases to enter and exit through, but no dust can go in. Actually, no bacteria can go through this filter. But that's the only lid I have. So I can just open it sometimes, kind of close it sometimes. But I usually like to keep it closed because it likes high humidity, but that's it. But oxygen coming outside can go through that. Yeah, Stravada, and then I just really normal. It's a meat. It just become like slightly bigger, and you can see the meats are growing, sprouting. Right, sprouting by seed is actually seed. Plant reproducing by seed is a sexual reproduction. If I decided to clone a plant by cutting a stem of the plant and then stick it in the soil and then you grow roots again, that is asexual reproduction. It doesn't require any pollination or gametes. That's just cloning. They will be genetically similar, genetically exactly the same, because you're just cutting a new stem and sticking in the soil. But if you use seeds, each of them is genetically unique, so they're all different. And the benefits is that they survive easier, like they have higher chance of survival, because each of them is slightly different, so the weakness will not be exactly the same. Boost the genetic diversity. And then like I had the water storage tank on the bottom, which have a tiny cotton wick that goes up to here, and then it gets absorbed into the soil. Let me increase the exposure, and you can see the soil, the cotton wick, and stuff like that. And I just put this like akadama soil on top because it looks nicer. That's it. No particular reason. Okay, so we're just going to look a little bit at the moss that I grow, in case you wonder, because I grow moss. I grow moss. So silly, isn't it? But the moss is quite big, you know. It's huge. Because normally moss are tiny, but this one is like 1 centimeter in diameter in each plant. And then this one is even more ridiculous type of mask. Let's open it. See, it's so big, isn't it? Compared to my finger, it's huge. Normally mask is tiny. And then I have the fan here to improve the ventilation because I close the lid so like the air can move around. And yeah, mostly vegetables like that. Lots like that. And then even my lid, I designed my own lid because the lid is like that. The middle you can open it, it's a viewing pot. The top has ventilation. The bottom has ventilation. And then it looks like this from the inside. There's the organic glass, which is plastic glass, and then yeah, holes. So cold air can sink down, hot air can go up, and the hot air rises, cold air comes back in from the bottom. So this allows the convection current to go. So on the top, hot air gets out. On the bottom, cold air goes in. Because when the hot air goes out, this slightly decreases the pressure. So the surrounding cold air goes back in to replace it. But my design is bad because bottom bookshelf actually just release the hot air back into it. So this is making this one way hotter. But don't worry, because it's not the only side that ventilation occurs. Because on the other side, actually, the ventilation occurs as well. Because it goes up from the bottom and it goes out to the top. And then when I say the top is like here. It comes out back straight out from here and out of the cupboard. And then it goes in from the bottom. And I just put a point of fan on the bottom. That's it for today.